So we got some farewell specials for our Doctor. What special thing can we do? Oh, I know. How about we pick an old Who villain at random that hasn't been done yet? Yeah, but we've done all the big ones that people like, and some of the small ones that people sort of like. What's left? I don't know. The Rani? No, the Rani is forbidden for some reason. The Crotons? What are they again? Big sort of tinfoil things. Ooh, I got an idea. How about Morbius? No. No. Sea Devils? Yeah, they were sort of popular. Fuck it, that'll do. Of course, I am being overly cynical. Maybe there was a genuine clamour to see the return of the sort of not really Silurians, but I rewatched the original serial recently and it doesn't even hold up that well. Unless, of course, you're the type of fan who shuts off their critical faculties if an episode was made before 1979. But Classic Who fans have by and large abandoned the series at this stage, so I don't know why they'd still be bothering trying to appeal to nostalgia, especially for the Sea Devils of all things. Nobody cares anymore. You got carte blanche to do whatever you want now. Especially since the creative team are out the door after the next episode. Go wild. Make a low-budget 60-minute experimental piece where the Doctor and Yaz go on a date in an interdimensional restaurant. Ooh, and how about they meet their future selves from a timeline where they get married? Actually, I'd love to see that, and I'm not even a fan of this era. But whatever, okay, so we basically got just another episode. And I do find it interesting that there's basically no pretending that Legend of the Sea Devils is anything but just another episode. They haven't even done the usual special episode thing of tacking on an extra 10 minutes to make it look like a special occasion. Legend of the Sea Devils could have just been an extra episode of Series 12. Hell, it could have been Flux Chapter 7 if they just had a character say the word Flux occasionally. It'd be easy, watch. Doctor exits TARDIS, waves Sonic Screwdriver around and says, "It looks like the Flux has drawn us to this place for some reason." And then you just carry on the episode as normal. Anyway, so what's this one about then? Well, let's have the Doctor tell us.
Sea Devils in 19th century China.
Don't you just love it when characters say the elevator pitch out loud? So, in typical Chibnall Doctor Who fashion, the Doctor and co run into some characters and have 100% exposition dialogue that sets the historical context for where they are and who everyone is. This is Madam Ching, a very famous pirate leader active in the early 19th century, and she's probably the entire reason that this episode exists in the first place, because Chris's approach to Doctor Who historicals appears to be to pick a famous historical person at random and adapt their Wikipedia article. Now, if you actually read Madam Ching's Wikipedia page, there is a fuck lot of information on there, but the one thing that Chris has managed to pull out of her history as leader of the Pirate Confederation is she was a mother. So there's this treasure that the Sea Devils have and that Madam Ching wants because her children have been kidnapped.
I could lose my sons.
How old are the boys?
3 and 6.
We can't actually, show these children on screen at any point in the episode though, because paying for people to look after child actors is beyond the BBC's budget at this stage. Just imagine that there are some children and that they are the stakes in this equation. We had much more important things to spend money on this time round, like making shots like this. Anyway, so the Doctor and Yaz then go back in time to the time when this ship containing this treasure that the Sea Devils want first got sunk, and we see that the captain of this ship went mad.
I said leave!
He's forcing them off to die in the water.
Yes, Yaz. I can see that happening on the screen. I don't know whose fault it is that this keeps happening, because this has been going on for a while now where characters read the stage directions out loud. I swear at one point I shut my eyes and just listened to the dialogue and I could still follow the episode because it's all characters describing stuff that you can see. Is the audio description for this episode just a mostly blank file with occasional lines that go, "The Doctor walks across the screen. A sea devil appears. Look, Doctor, a sea devil. You're right, Yaz, that is a sea devil. Looks like I'm going to have to walk back over to the other side of the screen and start juggling." Is Chris afraid that his episodes are going to get junked and fans of this era are going to have to make do with off-air recordings and telesnap reconstructions? Or is this practice for when Big Finish start doing 13th Doctor audios? Hey Chris, have you ever heard of this guy called George Méliès? I've heard he's been doing some wonderful work with these things called moving pictures. Anyway, so the Doctor and Yaz end up on the Sea Devil's ship, where a Sea Devil helpfully explains their evil plan for her. And interestingly, in an homage to Warriors of the Deep, because creating mouth movements for the Sea Devils is too expensive, they've given this one an amulet that glows so you can tell when it's supposed to be speaking. Although not in an homage to Warriors of the Deep, there is also a massive sea monster thing. And I thought this was going to turn out to be the Merker, but no one ever confirms it as such. Just look, Chris, I would respect you a hell of a lot more if you brought back monsters from episodes that everyone hates, because doing that would be punk as fuck. The main thing I liked about The Mandalorian was its reference to the Star Wars Holiday Special. Come on, do a sequel to Time Lash, do a prequel to The Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe. Bring back whatever these things were. Come on, show this fandom the contempt it deserves. Anyway, so it turns out that the Sea Devil's evil plan is to cause environmental catastrophe that will flood the world so the fish people can rule the surface once more. Sea Devils? You didn't actually need to do anything to cause climate catastrophe, because humans are kind of already doing that themselves. All you really needed to do was just wait for a bit. Anyway, have I mentioned everything yet? It was basically just another episode to kill time until the regeneration, wasn't it? Oh yeah, the shipping stuff. Get it? Shipping? Because there's a ship in this episode? Wow, so clever. Oh my god, Chris's brain is massive! So the Thasmin thing is still going on, and the Doctor and Yaz have a conversation on a beach at the end of the episode, in which every single line feels like it's been written with the express purpose of being a quotation in a Facebook post.
I can't fix myself to anything, anywhere, or anyone. But if I do fix myself to somebody, I know sooner or later it'll hurt. Can we just live in the present of what we have while we still have it? I wish this would go on forever.
This isn't the first time I felt like the show's been written with social media content in mind first and foremost, but it's like every line here. It sounds deep and it's a gift to the shipping community, but it's fridge magnet poetry at best. And as I was watching it, all I really heard was just, "So Doctor, is this conversation only happening with the express purpose of setting the audience up to feel sad when you die and I get kicked out of the TARDIS in the next episode?" Yes, Yaz, yes it is. Okay, yes, I am spoiling the magical illusion for the little children, but be honest, that's what you expect of me by this point, isn't it? And while we're being honest, I will admit that I did expect Legend of the Sea Devils to play out entirely in this fashion. Chris is going, Jodie's going, so who cares if the show learns from its mistakes at this point? I don't even begrudge it for basically just being another Chibnall episode, because the show's already given up on this era, and to be honest, so have I. And the only reason I'm hanging around is just so I can roll my eyes and make sarcastic comments, because I enjoy doing that. This is how I have fun with Doctor Who now. Anyway, so that next time trailer.
Ace, I haven't heard from the Doctor for nearly 4 decades.
Just because it's only 3 decades for me.
Oh wow, Ace is coming back, and so is Tegan, and presumably more companions. With Chris's name on the writing credits. I'm frightened. Anyway, because they've given me this juicy detail to play with, it's time for the return of an old segment that I haven't done in fucking ages. Prediction Corner, the section of He Who Moans where I try and predict what will happen in future episodes. Okay, so I predict that the plot of the Centenary special is going to be the Master kidnaps Yaz and introduces her to all the Doctor's old companions, including the 2 we saw in the trailer, and tries to show Yaz that the Doctor ditches her companions all the time and doesn't really care about them. And then the Doctor will die and regenerate and Yaz will feel sad. And you know what? If they do that, I will actually be kind of impressed with it. If the Thasmin stuff is actually going to mean anything, it needs a solid, dramatic conflict that needs to be the focal point of the episode. I mean, it probably won't be, but, you know, it's an idea.